Welcome to my Capstone Presentation on famine and how it affects genetics. When there are humanitarian crises happening all around the world for many different reasons, it's hard to grasp how hunger remains such a large problem in a world of abundance. Several different nations and peoples are in severe danger from malnutrition, and here's why it will impact the next generation that comes from these current events. What if the hunger of today determined tomorrow's chronic disease? While famine is a detrimental experience on the body, its effects go much deeper than one might think. Not only are these effects far-reaching in how they affect the body itself, but they are also unique in just how long-lasting they are in altering the body's genetic code. In an article by The Conversation, the enduring impact of famine, such as the current crisis in Gaza, are known to unfold both political resentment and biological effects on generations. In this presentation, I'm to discuss the scale of impact of famine on the human body, along with the lasting effects that remain when the body is reprogrammed generations after. Historically, famine in Ireland and Ukraine still have an existing strain on international relations. The Chinese Great Leap Forward famine confirmed the generational toll, exemplifying how children conceived during the starvation period faced lifelong health issues and cognitive or mental health challenges. Scientists have studied the survivors of these historical traumas, such as this one, and adults who were exposed to this fetal malnutrition decades after the famine ended showed significantly higher rates of serious chronic illnesses. They were more likely to develop diabetes, heart disease, and even certain mental health disorders than their siblings. Another similar study concluded that adults with prenatal famine exposure displayed differential epigenetic regulation in their glutamatergic synapse pathway. Essentially, starvation altered brain cell communication, which serves as evidence of higher mental health challenges for survivors of the Chinese famine of 1959. When an expecting mother goes through a detrimental event as this one, her body is forced to adapt to her environment, causing the body to metabolize food in a way that ensures that nutrients remain in the body long enough to sustain it while also providing enough to feed her baby. The body typically breaks food down much slower, sometimes feeding on energy source and muscle to keep going. In response, the fetus's operating system is fundamentally rewritten to inherit similar techniques. The thrifty gene hypothesis is often mentioned as one of the few theories that explain why this backwards phenomenon occurs. It essentially states how ancestors possessed thrifty genes that allowed them to better metabolize and conserve nutrients in times of low or scarce provisions. According to Miles et al. 2011, the PPAR-GC1A gene provides a pivotal role in insulin signaling, mitochondrial regulation, and adaptive thermogenesis. It's an optimal choice for a thrifty gene because of how it integrates metabolic pathways to support survival during prolonged periods of starvation or hibernation in mammals. It's important to note that the gene may function differently depending on the population. For example, the graphics provided from this study show the different frequencies of the 482 serine risk allele in PPAR-GC1A around the world. In populations like the Tongan Islanders, researchers found that this specific variant of PPAR-GC1A, known as the glycine 482 serine variant, is strongly associated with a higher body mass index. This gene, which may have helped their ancestors survive long ocean voyages by being incredibly efficient at energy storage, now puts them at a higher risk for obesity and related diseases in a calorie-rich world. The thrifty gene hypothesis, while often supported, is still debated until further research is done in the field, but it does provide sensible reasoning as to how more effective and specialized metabolic systems in the body before ended up being less effective and even devastating on the body in different conditions. It's important to take into account the all-encompassing effects of famine to truly understand just how critical it is for us as humans to act. In a world where technology, food, or even media are all in abundance, it's difficult to grasp how and why resources are not being allocated to those in need. Everyone has a different situation and different determinants of health that prevent them from accessing vital resources. Using this information, try to make a difference for someone else who may not have the same resources that you do. Who knows, the entire generation could be impacted from a small act of kindness or compassion. Thank you.